Hi guys, in this video we will be discussing a very controversial and touchy subject, Boolean modeling. Now I do apologize for the bluntness of the title of this video. I do not want to cause you any mental harm or discomfort, so I'll be whispering. I also understand that teddy bears are quite expensive, and I don't want you to panic buy stuff on Amazon just to sit under a blanket watching my video while hugging a fluffy teddy bear. That could be very traumatic indeed, especially if it's quite late or worse, already dark outside. Now, let's return to our subject at hand, if that's not too much pressure for you, and talk about ferociousness of Boolean modeling in practice. I only hope that you're ready for what's coming. Let's go. So we're going to start with a cube, and let's just scale it down a bit. Of course, we're going to be using add-ons. This is not for beginners. If you're a beginner, I suggest you grab our free course, which is called Jumpstart Hard Surface for Blender. It will teach you all the basics, everything you need to know about the menus, basics of hard surface modeling, etc. It's free, and the link is in the video description. Alright, so here we're going to drop a bevel. Now, you need to ask yourself a question when you're modeling destructively, right? How dense you want to go, okay? Because, you know, if I'm going to create a bevel, let's say of, this density, it's not going to be super, super curvy, right? Super smooth. You will see a bit of flat edges here, right? So, you really need to ask yourself a question, how dense do you want to go? I think I want to go quite dense. You could always go with even number of segments and uneven number of edges. So you're going to be able to select every second one of them here in the middle. And you can just simply dissolve them, right? So if you want to half the resolution of the bevel, you can do that. This way, it's actually a good method to use when you're working with game assets, okay? Now here what I want to do is I want to merge them together. So let's apply scale first so we can actually create a really nice bevel. And to prevent the overshooting, press C to clamp it. And I think this density is fine, so let's just click and press 3. You want to clean it because when you clamp a bevel, there's always double edge here, so we're going to use machine tools to clean it. Now, if you don't know how to use machine tools or any add-ons I'm using here, which is in this case Mesh Machine, go ahead and watch my videos. I have plenty of videos on how to use these add-ons. I'm going to be explaining it in every single video. So let me just scale it down a bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these and I'm going to insert them, maybe that much, and delete them. Select these edges and bridge them with machine tools. Now, what I want to do here in the middle, I want to add a sort of a cylinder. And this, this will need to be quite dense, okay? So we need more verts than this one. This is going to be way too low of resolution in comparison to the bevel. So we need to add more verts. Now I'm going to be doing this with an add-on called Primitive, which is a free add-on you can get on GitHub. So Control Alt and A, and I'm going to bump this to 60, I would say. 60 should be fine. And I'm going to scale it down a little bit, and I think this should do. Maybe make it a bit larger, and then we're going to union this, and I'm going to simply slash it from the side. Yeah, so select that one, and let's just draw a cutter here and mirror this, and I think we're good to go. Now, I don't like how, these corners here are so sharp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, actually not this one, let's just combine these here, like that, and then mirror this to, and then let's mirror this to both sides. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce a loop here, and I'm going to delete these faces, and not edges, faces, and this one as well. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to grab these and move them here with machine tools like that. Okay, and then we can close it with a face. Perfect. In fact, you know what, I'm gonna go a bit closer here, so something like this, I would say, and maybe move this one a little bit closer, so GG, and just slide it here like this. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to remove these ones because we don't need these edges here, so just let's mirror this everywhere with mesh machine. And then I'm going to bevel this. Now there's another edge here, I think. Let me just dissolve edge here, and let's try it again. That doesn't work. Press 3 to clean it. Let's try again. There we go. Now this is too dense, so let's go a little bit lower here. Maybe something like this should do. Clean it again, right? And now you got like really nice sort of a transition here. Here in the middle, what we can do is go with a circle, click this magnet here. So you're gonna enable dot, kind of a tracing with box cutter. And make sure in perspective mode, this is not gonna work in orthographic. And we're going to draw a cut here in the middle like this, and shift scroll the verts to 60, I think it's enough, and cut it through. So we got this kind of a situation, which is pretty cool. And then what we want in addition to that, we want cylinders here in corners. But now I'm thinking about how many verts. I think 32 is enough, because they're gonna be quite small, so something like that. And make sure it's a bit taller than this structure. And we're going actually, and I'm thinking maybe this will be better. And we're gonna select all of them and Booleans union, and then let's just apply a bevel. Okay, and then let's move this a little bit. So let's rotate it. There you go. See, like there's an edge overlapping with this bevel here. All you need to do is rotate it a bit, and you're gonna be fine, right? So before you apply booleans, right, make sure that you basically remove all the problems that you can remove. Yeah. The same here, like you could technically add some loops here, right? But we also could add them later on. So in this case, I wouldn't really touch this. So now with bevel, everything works. So let's just simply hold shift and mirror this to all sides. And we're good to go. Here, I want to make another cut in this area. So what we could do, let me think. Actually, yeah, we could actually cut it from the top here, like this. Where is the mirror going from here? Yeah. And then actually bevel this here. I think it will work. Could need to be a little bit larger, so SY, there we go. And then let's just apply this and grab that and to both of them. In fact, you know what? GG and do kind of like a wedge cut here. And then grab both, and we already have clamping enabled, and I think that many is enough, and then 3 to clean it. And then let's just recalculate sharpen, and we're good to go. Now on another cut here in this area, just going in, but not too deep. Oh yes, we need to go from this side. So one more time. There we go. Maybe that deep, and also I want to bevel these edges. Just don't overdo it here, yeah. I think this kind of a bevel will do. Also, we need weighted normals, so let's do that. Now, the reason why I'm actually rounding everything out here in this area is because I want to actually run a chamfer, and chamfer looks much better on kind of like a curvy surface, not an angular surface, right? So if I, for example, try to run a chamfer here, it wouldn't really look that good, okay? So now, what we could do here, we could actually transition these into bevels. If you want, I can show you how would I go about doing that. So come on, GZ, why it's not moving? There's a mirror active, isn't there? Hang on. Let me just apply this mirror. There we go. Okay, and now we can move it. There we go. Let's align this here with machine tools. And we're going to connect... Wait a minute, I pull some vert I shouldn't be pulling. Let me just... You know what? Let me just dissolve these edges. Control R, there we go, GZ. Move it up here, then align it. Okay, then connect these. All right, and let me see now. Let's mirror this to the bottom. And now you see, in order to bevel this, right, I would need to remove these, dissolve these edges, and I think I probably should dissolve this one as well because it will not work. Yeah, see what I mean? So we need to dissolve this one as well. I don't think this is gonna be even possible in this area. But I tell you what, let's try this, yeah? So Control plus and F3 to clean it. Let's just combine it in here and then let's just see if it's gonna work. Okay, kind of works. All right, so we could actually dissolve this one as well and do something like this, right? Okay, and then drop it down, see how it looks. Let's unsharpen this one more time. That didn't work. Clean it. Let's just nuke this edge here. Not dissolve. Unmark it. Let's see. Well, it's not terrible, but maybe not the best idea. I don't know. Let me see. Let's remove these and try it in here as well. I think I removed too many. Let's just nuke these. There we go. Okay. And let's see. Unmark this. Now here, obviously, you're gonna have a problem because, you know, you have this kind of a situation. But what I want to do here is I want to grab them both here and I want to inset them. Then I want to create a circle out of these, right? So, you know, loop tools, and we could first space them and then circle, and do the same in the bottom. So loop tools, space them, and then circle, and then select them both and remove faces and then bridge them, yeah. So you're gonna get this cut in the middle here. We don't want it, which is in a perfect position. And then I want to nuke this because this is gonna be a disaster here. So just press F and connect these to F, and the same here. And let me see if this is acceptable. Just dissolve that. Well, it's not terrible. I wonder if you could actually fix this here. So space it. That's not bad actually. What we could do is offset this edge, right? So we could offset this edge, which we can do with slide edge. Now, if you don't have slide edge, get it. It's a good add-on. I think it's either free or like $10. I can't remember. But since, you know, we technically what we could do is completely remove these, right? No, combine them, because all we need really is two connections here, right? So we could just run them here like this, and we could remove all this junk here, right? All of them, to clean it up, right? See what I mean? So now what I can do is select that one, and again slide edge, slide it outside here like this, And then I have another interesting element here coming out of this boom, right? And then I can mirror this to all sides. And technically, you know, this one here could be a little bit different. Could be, you know, not rounded like the other ones, but kind of straight. So let's grab a circle here and let's just cut it. More or less the same cut. Mirror. We're good to go. Then we're going to grab that and split it. Then we're going to select the loops. I'm going to actually grab a shortcut here, which is going to be Shift tilde. And I'm going to split these two and Alt and macro them inside. Right. So I can run something like this. And this is already looking promising. Now, what I can do is start running chamfers here. Now, I think I'm going to run chamfers inside of these. Yeah, like that. I might run the chamfer here, just a small one. You want to make sure that your chamfers are of a different size, okay? It's really important, so they're not all the same. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit boring, yeah? Boring Berkshire, you know what I mean? Now here, we're going to do some cool shit. So let's just shift curve extractors in the middle, sharpen. Let's nuke this edge here. Now I want you to do is I want you to go to edit preferences under machine tools, enable thread, okay? So when you're gonna go here, machine tool thread, you can actually create a thread, and we're going to add more of them, not too many. Something like this maybe. And I think this is good enough. Yeah. And just don't over bevel this because you're gonna start overshooting stuff, you know. Bevel cannot be too aggressive here. You can see a problem's already starting to form. Maybe not. Maybe what we could do is actually combine this. There you go. That's better. And I think we're good to go. Now, am I missing something? We could actually have split here as well, and Alt and macro and go inside, yeah, like this. It's gonna be quite interesting. Even it could go a little bit deeper than that. So something like this, right? It's gonna create a little bit, you know, a bit more interest to this design. Now, in addition to this one, what we could do, we could slice the sides here, open them up like this. So you're gonna have, you know, different different situation here and here. That looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that looks pretty cool. And we can apply this, and then we can run a chamfer here as well. Now, if you're gonna get these pulls like this here, what you can do is go here to bevel, this menu, and turn off loop slide. Now we got some beef in here. Let me actually see what, if you have unconnected verts to a bevel, you're gonna have a problem. So make sure it's connected before you're gonna start sliding, right? So just mirror this to all sides, everywhere, boom. And then one more time. And now it should be PEGI. There you go. And we are looking really good. Awesome. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add some background and drop it down. And let's see how we're looking, yeah? So let's go to render view. Of course, we're going to be using Material Works. So our, you know, Blender Bros add-on formats. And we're going to add some metal to it. It's graphite steel maybe, not the floor, this one. Let's go with graphite steel, and it's a little bit too dark, so we're gonna make it a bit brighter and possibly not as reflective. So just flip it here, a bit more rough, and here we could go with half matte steel. It's gonna look quite classy, and here we could go with plastic, shiny plastic, and Bob Janko. Alright, there you go. This looks really clean. And I think we've done a pretty cool job on this one. Now, camera angle, right? This is what a lot of people struggle with. So let's do this, right? Let's just zoom in here and lock the view. I'm gonna change the perspective. Let's see how this is gonna look at 85mm. I think it looks a bit better. We got some opening here. I kind of have this cluster of details here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tilt it a little bit to create maybe a different sort of different view here, so you can clearly see, you know, what's happening. Another way you could do this, you could actually do something like that. This also could be pretty cool. So you can clearly see the outline of the object and also how it's been constructed. Maybe a bit up so you can see the opening here as well. You can't see everything, but you can see everything here is fine. I think this is actually really good angle. Now, what I don't like is this mess in here, so we could just kind of, you know, rotate it, and that looks much cleaner. And also, let's just maybe drop this a little bit lower here, so it's not, actually maybe higher is better, so we could have some maybe room for logo in here and give it a bit more ground, you know. We put a Blender logo here and name here, boom, that looks good. Now we have a little bit of an opening here and it's too small, so I'm just gonna angle this down a bit so you can clearly see you know, what's the design language, because here you can't really see very well, you don't know what's going on. This is more informative, you know, it's more information for the person who's looking at this, what it is, right? So there you go. I'll just unlock from view, and I think we're good to go. Now render settings, well, I'm gonna be using oh shit, it's always happening in this fucking Blender. Hang on, let me just fix this. I'm gonna be using a different what do you call this thing? Azure Eye. This is abundant slip away. We're gonna be using paid Azure Eyes from what do you call this guy? Essential, who has a really nice Azure Pack, and the one I'm using, I think this one is actually included with our add-on Material Works, and we're currently actually working with Proxy on introducing presets for Azure Eyes, so you don't have to go here and fuck with these nodes, because honestly it's just, you know, September 1975, do you know what I mean? A bit depressing to fuck with nodes in this day and age. So here I don't know about this one, maybe actually gun gradient B would be better. There you go, that's much better. Let me now see if I can turn it around, what we can get here. Oh, that's really interesting, beautiful lighting, very nice shadow. You can see clearly all the openings, background, all the features with nice contrast. I really like it. So the light here is coming from an interesting angle from behind, very low angle, so there's a lot of reflectivity on the surface. You can see that the difference between you know, this and, you know, and for example this one is massive. Yeah, there's a very different color of this matte because of the reflectivity. It kind of seems like it's almost silver. But yeah, that's what a light angle does. So this is really cool. This could be a bit darker to make it a bit different, but you know what, I think it's fine. And you know, this is how I'd render this. So, you know, just run render, see how we're looking. That looks really clean to me. So I think it's a result. Well, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next.